Yo, what's good, everybody? Today I'm going to talk about the snooze fest that was Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. And I want to welcome everybody to the second half of Haney's career. This is Devin Haney 2.0, a man with his confidence completely shattered. His confidence in his chin and his confidence in his defense. This Haney is extremely defensively oriented, who really only has 5 elements to his game. Number one being constant lateral movement. He operates from the outside, moving non-stop from left to right. There is no inside or mid-range fighting, no staying in a pocket, no type of advance in his game whatsoever. Number two being quote-unquote defense. His right hand is permanently holstered by his right jaw to protect himself from any potential left hook, even though there really probably isn't anything coming. With his right hand holstered there, you can expect a limited amount of power shots coming from this version of Haney, making for a very unthreatening and unentertaining fighter. Number three, pot shots. Every so often, in the midst of his constant lateral movement, he will pump out a jab to score points. However, he throws them in singles and then immediately disengages right after shooting. Number four, clinching. If it gets too hot in there, Haney will resort to clinching to stop the action. Truthfully speaking, from my vantage point, he looks terrified of punches. So if he gets cornered or if he feels he's threatened in any type of way, he will throw himself onto his opponent and cling to them like his life depended on it. Number five, counters. Once he inevitably, frustrates his opponents from his way of boxing, they tend to make mistakes, whether they go in without a setup or they just start throwing windmills and pray something of consequence lands. Haney will make him pay by throwing a sharp counter and get right back to his bike right after. And that is it. That's Haney 2.0. Effective, an equation that is difficult to crack, for it requires discipline, good footwork, and high IQ, but extremely painfully boring to watch. This is the type of boxing casuals hate Shakur on for. Even though Shakur, truthfully speaking, displays superb defense and counterpunching and actually stays in the pocket. But we're not talking about Shakur. What happened to Devin Haney? He has significantly regressed, no doubt thanks to the beating he got from Ryan. His confidence is shot. Devin, I believe he's suffering from some sort of PTSD. He was never the most exciting fighter, but he was a damn good boxer. He had a good jab. He countered real well. He set up traps. He was smart and stood in front of his opponents and fought. Now, well, his output plummeted. He's frantic and he looks genuinely afraid of punches. In fact, if you watch carefully, right, you can see that he actually sacrifices technique in order to make sure that he goes back on his defense right after throwing a punch. It's clear on some left hooks he threw when Ramirez was close to him, they were very sloppy. I believe it's because he rushed throwing it to make sure he's protected afterwards. Yeah, I don't know what to think. I'm very disappointed. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Devin Haney, but I was rooting for him. I thought he was overly hated for being the victim of somebody who popped for PEDs. Honestly, I felt bad for him, so I was rooting for him. But I just can't help but feel disappointed. I hope he finds his confidence again and fights better next time, because this was just way too negative, way too boring, way too safe. It just wasn't a fun time watching that. I lost focus watching that. I got bored. And I know someone might bring up the fact that I'm not addressing Ramirez. Guys, I feel like we all knew Ramirez was not going to win this fight. This was to see how Devin is after that hellacious previous fight, right? Going into this fight, I thought Ramirez wouldn't pose much of a threat to Dev, and I was proven right. I am not interested in talking about him, and I doubt anybody even wants to listen to me talk about Ramirez. All right, so that's all for me. What do you think of the fight? What did you think of Devin? I was disappointed, like I said, but I still hope for the best for him. You know, he's so talented. I know there's so much more in there that he can give. So I just want good boxing, man. That's all I want. So leave your comments down below. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I hope you have a lovely day.